Okay, let's unpack this one. Amir Khan. You know, Bollywood superstar, incredibly famous, but also famously private about his personal life.
Very much so. He keeps things quite close to the chest, usually.
Exactly. And now he's made this, well, pretty major public appearance with his partner, Gauri Spratt.
Right, and the setting is interesting. The Macau International Comedy Festival.
Yeah, that's the bit that jumps out, isn't it? A big relationship reveal at a comedy festival seems a bit unusual.
It does. It immediately makes you wonder, it's the thinking there. A comedy festival, it suggests maybe wanting a lighter touch.
Perhaps less intense scrutiny than, say, a huge film premiere in Mumbai.
Possibly. Maybe deliberately choosing a place that feels a bit more relaxed, a bit more international, perhaps.
Well, we're going to dig into it today. We've got a great piece from the Times of India detailing this whole appearance.
Okay.
So for everyone listening, the plan is to really get into the details of this debut, what went down, why this event, and, what it might signal.
Sounds good. And the article makes it clear this was definitely their first official public outing as a couple.
Right. After, what, 18 months of keeping the relationship pretty quiet?
Yeah, about 18 months according to the report. So choosing this specific moment on this international stage feels quite deliberate.
And it was right there on the red carpet, Macau International Comedy Festival. It's just not your typical Bollywood backdrop.
No, it has a different vibe. More global, maybe.
And their clothes. That also stood out. They were both in traditional Indian outfits.
Tell me more.
Aamir was in a classic black kurta, white pajama, but with this really nice black and gold embroidered shawl. Looked very elegant.
Okay.
And Gauri was in a floral sheer sari. Looked absolutely lovely.
That choice, wearing traditional Indian attire at an international festival, that feels significant, doesn't it?
How so, you think?
Well, it's like planting a flag, sort of, saying this is who we are, but presenting their relationship grounded in their culture, even on a global stage. It's a statement.
Yeah, I see that. It wasn't just a quick photo op either. The article specifically mentions them holding hands.
Okay, PDA.
Yeah, fingers interlaced, walking the carpet together, which, for Amir Khan, that feels, well, quite open.
It does. Given his history of guarding his privacy, holding hands, that visible connection, it adds a certain warmth, maybe makes it feel more relatable.
Yeah, maybe bridging that celebrity gap a bit.
Exactly. Even for audiences outside India who might not follow Bollywood gossip so closely, it's a universal sign of closeness.
But it wasn't just about them as a couple, was it? They were seen interacting with some pretty big names from China.
Right. Shen Teng and Ma Li. The article highlights them. They're apparently huge comedy stars in China.
Very popular actors and comedians, yeah.
And this is where Amir's own connection to China really comes into play, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's crucial context. His films have done incredibly well there.
Incredibly well is almost an understatement for some of them. Thinking about Three Idiots, PK.
And especially Dangal. Massive.
Huge hits. We're talking major critical acclaim and massive box office success in China. He's a known, respected figure there.
So seeing him laughing, posing for pictures with Shen Teng and Ma Li, the article mentions them doing those little finger heart signs together.
Which is quite sweet, actually.
It really emphasizes that cross-cultural link, doesn't it? It's more than just celebs meeting.
Precisely. It underlines the cultural capital he holds in China. He's not just some random actor visiting. He's Amir Khan. People know him.
So him being at this festival interacting like this, it builds on that existing bridge between the Indian and Chinese film worlds.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, did his popularity in China influence the choice of Macau for this debut? A more international, maybe China-adjacent setting.
That's a really interesting angle. And the engagement doesn't stop there. The article says Aamir, Shen Teng, and Ma Li are actually doing an event together.
Yes, the festival's closing for him.
Okay.
Titled Laughter is the Best Medicine.
Love that title. Very fitting.
Perfect for a comedy festival, right? And the panel topic sounds fascinating, too.
What is it again?
Exploring comedy's role in society and the potential for cross-border storytelling.
Okay, so that adds a whole other layer. It's not just celebrity appearances. There's some real substance there.
Definitely. It touches on the power of comedy, how it travels, how it connects people across cultures.
Makes you think about humor being universal, even with language barriers.
Yeah.
Having Indian and Chinese perspectives on that panel could be quite insightful.
Absolutely. And these kinds of dialogues, they can potentially spark collaborations, more creative exchange between these huge film markets.
What kind of impact do you think that has, seeing these interactions, for audiences in both countries?
Well, it could foster familiarity, maybe curiosity about each other's cinema and culture. It's Sort of soft diplomacy through entertainment, perhaps.
Yeah, interesting way to put it. Now, we should mention our source for all this detail.
Right, always good to credit.
This all comes from a report by the Times of India Entertainment Desk.
A reliable source for Bollywood and wider entertainment news.
Yeah, they cover everything from, the latest film buzz to these kinds of celebrity moments. They call themselves tellers of tales of stardom and stories untold.
Which is a pretty good description of what entertainment journalism aims to do, I suppose,
Yeah.
shaping how we see these public figures.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the key points for everyone listening.
Good idea.
We have Aamir Khan, usually very private, making his first public appearance with his partner, Gauri Spratt.
And the venue? The Macau International Comedy Festival, not the expected choice.
They were dressed traditionally, showing affection holding hands, and were seen mingling warmly with major Chinese comedians Shen Teng and Ma Li.
Which connects to Amir's significant popularity in China thanks to his hit films there.
And adding another dimension, Aamir and the Chinese stars are set to discuss comedy and cross-border storytelling at a festival forum.
So it's a multi-layered event, really. The personal debut, the cultural exchange, the industry discussion.
It definitely raises questions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why this specific festival? Why now, after keeping things private for so long?
Exactly. Was it about controlling the narrative somehow? Choosing a slightly less predictable stage?
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. We see global entertainment becoming more and more connected, right?
Constantly. More collaborations, more international events like this.
And famous people's personal lives inevitably get woven into these bigger cultural moments. So what does choosing a comedy festival, specifically for this public debut, tell us about how Aamir and Gauri might be thinking about their public image going forward?
Is it about projecting something more relaxed, more approachable maybe? Or are there other, perhaps strategic reasons behind choosing this particular international moment?
Definitely something to think about.